Hi, my name is Kate Summerlin, and I'm from the North Madison Congregational Church, Tuesdays in the Garden. And about 6 weeks ago, I walked with you all through my garden here in Guilford, Connecticut, and talked about spring blooming gardens. And I thought I'd take you through another visit to show you what has popped in the ensuing 6 weeks. Right over here is the glorious Exbury azalea. I'm thinking this is my Pentecostal garden, just a week off of Pentecostal Sunday with all the blazing orange. This is a shrub that is deciduous, which means it loses its leaves, and it has these bright orange flowers that are such a showstopper in the early days of June. Coming right over here is a Japanese maple. David and I bought this for each other on our 5th wedding anniversary. You can see 31 years later, we just celebrated our 36th wedding anniversary. It has been prolific in sending out new branches and new leaves. Right next door here is a beautiful honeysuckle. And this honeysuckle here you see is on the verge of blooming. And the great thing about this one is that not only is it gorgeous when it opens up, but it perfumes the air with a sweet honeysuckle smell. Coming around the other side of this beautiful Japanese maple, you can see this sweet little plant here called Zentora montana. It's like a blue pincushion. And right next door to it is cranesbill geranium with its pink blossoms. This has a tendency to travel, so I have to cut it back after it blooms. And then right here are heuchera. This is the one and only plant I have from David's mother's garden. It's something I treasure and look forward to. It's subtle but beautiful when it puts up its little pink stems filled with flowers. Moving over here, we have Baptisia, or false indigo. Nice big plumes of blue flowers. They're great for bouquets. They do self-seed. They're mingled right over here with the poppies, furthering the theme of the Pentecostal garden. Poppies are great flowers at this time of the year. Going right past here, this is a clematis. I wish I could remember the name of it. But this is one of those plants that gets bigger and better every single year. There's all kinds of varieties of clematis. They start blooming late May all the way through July. And if you look here, this is hinoki grass. I love this grass because it's such a great pop of color, kind of a yellow chartreuse, sets off all the flowers around it. And one of the things I've noted about my gardens is I like to be able to look at them from all different angles, and this grass just is so brilliant when I look out of the bedroom window and I can look down on it. So under here are hostas, always a favorite. They do so well in the shade. This is under a Norfolk spruce, or a Norwegian spruce, that provides sort of a little gentle area under here that allows the hostas their shade so they can thrive. So we come over here, you can see a lot more hostas. You can see the Japanese iris and the peonies about to bloom over here too. I have a ton of peonies. I love their fragrance and their flowers. You see in the back there a very large hosta. The hostas seem to be on steroids this year. I'm not sure whether it was the mild winter or what exactly. This here is Ligulera. I showed you this on the former video. This is just a really cool flower with great foliage. It turns bronze depending upon how much sun it has. And in the fall, it puts up a big yellow flower. It's surrounded here by some light yellow green hostas, which set off the color of the Ligulera behind it. As we move over here, you can see there's some more big hostas here. knockout roses that are about to bloom. And again, that big pop of color from the poppies. We learned a couple weeks ago about irises. I don't have too many of them. Martha had a whole ton. But here are the few irises that I have. Beautiful, beautiful purple and white. Martha may be able to tell me what they are. And behind them, the cranesbill geranium as well. If we look over here, this is a new peony, one of the first ones to bloom. Can't wait to see it when it's completely open. A couple other things of note in this garden here. This is a yellow hosta right here. It has a little bit of damage from slugs, which have been pretty prolific. And this over here is lady's mantle. Lady's mantle has been doing great. This is a little liriope here, little striped flower. Striped plant will put up a blue flower in the late summer. And some more lady's mantle over here, which puts out a chartreuse flower, another one that's great for bouquets. Poppies are pretty short-lived, but for the moments that they're around, they sure are pretty spectacular. Over here you can see some more hostas. Again, big blue hostas, big blue leaves. Not sure what's exactly up with these, why they're so big, but I'm not complaining. So we moved into the patio here. I do put my orchids outside. I leave them out all summer long in a really shady spot. I've noticed that in years past, when I do have the orchids out, that they put up flower spikes almost across the board. So I have flowers in through the early fall months. Coming over here, this is a Japanese painted fern garden with a Stewardia tree right in the middle of it. And it flowers in early July. It's covered with white flowers. And this year I decided with the painted ferns that I were going to put some little pops of color in here of tuberous begonias. So you can see here's one, here's another one, here's a peach one, a red one. Over here is a yellow one, and in the back is another coral color one. They'll grow up in the course of the summer and just add these sort of pastel-y colors to an otherwise monochromatic bed. I want to show you one thing over here. This is my rake graveyard. Living in an old farmhouse, you find lots of utensils in the ground as you start to dig. And every one of these, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rakes and a couple shovels that I've uncovered over the 35 years we've been here, and I've put them up in this little garden display. And this right here is a garden plant picture. It's a copper frame and it has succulents growing out of it. I got it for the first time last year, and I found out that all of these succulents actually overwintered and continued growing when I brought it out again this year. There's the Stewardia again.